here is a demo of how to use Autobound's Smart Template Personalizer inside of Hubspot. So first things first, you're going to need a list of contacts that you want to download and enrich with personalized content. So here's my list. I have 3 contacts here. Notice how I have at least their email or their LinkedIn URL. This is what Autobound needs to be able to identify them. Next, I'm going to go into Autobound and choose the model I want to use to generate the content with. I'm going to use Alter because it's more sophisticated. Next, we're going to upload the file of contacts that I want to generate content for. And you do need to have at least their email or their LinkedIn URL. LinkedIn URL is better. It has a higher chance of us resolving the prospect to someone in our database and therefore being able to look up and information on that prospect and enrich it. So once I've done this step, then I need to actually insert a template. Now I have a template that I'm going to use right here, and notice how Autobound's available fields to include in the template. These are the only dynamic fields you can use. You have to use ours, first name, sender name, company name, etc. So you'll see that in here. This will allow us to, populate this for each of the prospects in that list. Now, what Autobound's going to do with this is enrich it. It's going to take this template as a baseline, the talking points and the core messaging, and then feed in our insights on the prospects that we have to make it more personalized to those individuals. For example, if I wanted to generate a preview of this, I could see how this looks if I were to be emailing the CEO of ZoomInfo. It's going to bring in some different, let's try it one more time, different information on Henry. You'll see his company as well. It's very different than the actual template I provided. That's just kind of a taste of what we'll do. So now I'll go here and I'll say, hey, I want to generate content for those contacts. I've already done that here, and you can see I have a bunch of these here, but so I'm not going to do it again. And this is what we'll get. We will get a CSV that looks like this, and we'll have 2 new columns, email 1 and email 1 HTML upload this. Think of this as your preview column. This is what we're actually going to import into HubSpot, but this allows me to kind of just validate everything looks good. If I see something wrong with it, then I'll be like, okay, I actually am going to go and make a tweak to leading biz dev instead of business development. Maybe that's the tweak I want to make. So any edits I make are going to be over here. So now that I have my template, all of my contacts and messaging, I'll download this. I'll go into HubSpot. And before I actually can do anything with that, I need to set some things up as an admin in the back end of HubSpot. So I'm going to go to Settings, Properties. I'm going to make sure I'm creating a contact property. And I want to create a property called Autobound Email. Now this property is just a multi-line text field. You'll see it's just called Autobound Email. And it's multi-line text, and that's it. And what I'm going to do with this, and here's how you will create that for if you haven't done this before, you just Autobound email, test, select group, Autobound, select field type, multi-line text, and then it's pretty much done from there. Since I already have it, I'm not going to do it again. Next thing you'll need is a template and sequence that contains that new field in it. For example, here's a template that has subject meeting request, and you'll see that all I've done is inserted this new variable here, Autobound email, right here. And what's going to happen is Autobound's going to pre-populate this with the content from this spreadsheet. So now that I've set things up, it's time to actually import the contacts and get going here. So I'm going to go to Contacts, I'm going to click Import, select the file, great, just one file, one object, it's a contact list. Now I'm going to upload that file here. All right, now this is an important part. So HubSpot will do a pretty good job of mapping the properties themselves. contact properties. Yeah, first name is this field, email, good, job title. The one I'm really looking for is this. So you'll notice there's email 1 and email 1 HTML. Upload this. I want to make sure I'm mapping this to the correct field. Autobound email. Cool. So now for every one of those prospects, this data here is going to pre-populate it. So let's click next. I agree. Cool. All right. So while that's going, let's go look one of these prospects up in HubSpot. Here he is. All right, so now I would typically add this person into a sequence. Now I don't have sequencing functionality in HubSpot myself, but you probably will if you're doing this. But you can also see the same functionality, like if I were to add a sequence here or a template, same idea, and put the template that had that variable in it, you'll see that that variable has been pre-populated with the email from this sheet. So I noticed you're leading business development at Workrise Technologies. Right here, I noticed you're leading business development at Workrise Technologies. Each one of these contacts is going to have that variable dynamically populated with a personalized